Welcome back for another video. Gameweek 9 is just wrapped up, so let's break down everything we've learned and I'll talk through my transfer plans for Gameweek 10 in the coming weeks. How'd you all get on this game week? I've pinned a comment below, so let us know what your scores are. So we had Leicester versus Forest on Friday night. No clean sheet for Forest, who have started the season unbelievably well, only 7 goals conceded from 9 game weeks. Sells actually got an assist this game, so the wipe clean sheet not as painful for Sells owners at least. Vardy scored to make it 1-1 with a poacher's finish, finding a half yard between defenders. He's the 4th oldest player ever to score in consecutive games in the Premier League. After that, it was the Wood show though. Perfect start to the game for Wood owners out there with a brace and a 13-pointer. Since Nuno took charge of Forest, he's got 18 goals in 25 games. Only Palmer and Haaland have got more over that run. So it's surely got to be time to buy Wood. Well, his next 4 are West Ham home, Newcastle home, Arsenal away, Ipswich home. So it is 3 home games in 4, but he does have Arsenal in there. He's definitely a sound pick for Gameweek 10, though you really want him for just 3 of the next 4 game weeks, and then it's also City away after that. We're a bit spoiled of budget forwards right now. There's Welbeck, Jimenez, Cunha, Visser, Vardy all been returning recently. The less said about Calvert-Lewin the better. Cunha is probably the best pick for the long-term fixtures, and for the next 4, Visser's probably slightly better than Wood. Don't rush to buy Wood just yet, have a closer look at those 3, Wood, Visser and Cunha. There's League Cup next week before the Gameweek 10 deadline as well. We'll discuss them all in more detail on the players to buy video on Monday, so make sure you subscribe for that. So Brentford 4, Ipswich 3. Now we had Visser as the #1 budget forward to buy in last week's video, and he did deliver with a goal and an assist. In other words, in 5 starts he's got 4 goals, 2 assists this season, the only blank coming against Liverpool. And Mbeumo scored from the spot in the 51st minute. In the 95th minute he was on 7 points, 96th minute he was on 15 points after a ball into the box finding its way into the back of the net for a dramatic late winner, and he took all 3 bonus points as well. This one was a crazy game. A day to forget for Clark with an own goal and then a red card, plus he got -2 for 4 goals conceded, resulting in one of the worst FPL scores of all time with -5. Clark's just the 2nd player in Premier League history to actually score an own goal, concede a penalty and be sent off in the same Premier League match, after Bednarek with Southampton against Man United, February 2021. Something to keep an eye on is Delap's benching if you've got him. Hurst got his first ever Premier League start and he got 1 goal, 1 assist. He did play well. Delap did score off the bench though. You got to keep Delap for the Ipswich home fixture next and then look to sell him. Only Palmer and Salah have registered a higher expected goal involvement among midfielders this season than Mbeumo. Brighton 2, Wolves 2. So Dunk got injured in the warm-up, so it's very unlucky for owners. Perhaps they would have conceded anyway if he had started instead. They looked on course for a clean sheet, leading 2-0 by the 87th minute, Aït-Nouri pulling one back from a few yards out, and then Cunha in the 93rd minute to equalise. There was an absurd number of late goals this game, lots of late clean sheet wipes as well. Welbeck was a doubt for the game, but he made it, he started and he scored. He's actually never hit double-digit goals in the Premier League season in his 17-year career. He now needs 4 from his remaining 28 games to do it. A word of warning on Aït-Nouri. O'Neill said he regretted playing a back 3, so he might occupy a deeper average position next match, unless he plays him out of position in left midfield. But also, besides that, he's on 4 yellow cards now. So one mob will be a 1-match suspension, which will definitely happen, you'd imagine. So if you buy him, just make sure you've got the rotation there. He is a solid pick, he's got great fixtures. Not so great clean sheet potential, but he's very attacking for 4.5 mil. More often than not, you're going to be counting on attacking returns because they haven't kept a clean sheet yet. But he has had 2 9-pointers and a 6-pointer. Last week, Visser was my favourite budget forward with the Ipswich fixture as the entry point. From this week, it's Cunha. He's got 3 home games in the next 4. He's got a fixture run now of Palace, Southampton, Fulham, Bournemouth, Everton, West Ham and Ipswich. Best fixtures of any team right now. Avoid the keepers. Johnston missed out of injury. Sarr does look like he's #1 for now, but that could change at any point. There's no midfielders at Wolves worth looking at either really. It's Cunha or Strand Larsen. If you are tight for money, Strand Larsen's a great pick as well, but Cunha is their best player and he should be on penalties. Alright, so Man City 1, Southampton 0. Haaland was triple captain by 308,000 managers in the world. The good news is that he didn't blank. The bad news is it was just a 6-pointer. Assuming that the other chips are going to be better utilised in the 2 expected double game weeks later, it was still a good decision, but a bit of an unfortunate outcome. He registered 2.11 expected goals, which is the 2nd most he's ever registered in a Man City game in the league. He had so many chances, he took 8 shots, all of them in the box, 4 big chances, 3 missed. A reminder really of the luck involved in FPL. For comparison, his Game Week 2 hat-trick came from fewer expected goals. Foden got his start but he didn't come away with any points. Again, better finishing from Haaland and he would have done very well, so quite unlucky for those that bought Foden or already had him. Foden created 5 chances in total, including 1 big chance. If you still got your triple captain, there's 2 expected double game weeks to come in Game Week 33 and Game Week 36. Plus there's plenty of single game week opportunities still. Salah and Palmer are still yet to play all 3 promoted teams home. and Haaland's got Leicester home much later as well. One positive outcome, if you had a City defender, was they finally kept another clean sheet. Amazingly, that's their first clean sheet since Gameweek 1. Vardy took all 3 bonus points, as did Savio actually, despite no returns. Lots of chances created and successful take-ons contributed to that. Chelsea edged a 2-1 win over Newcastle at Stamford Bridge thanks to goals from Jackson first and then Palmer. The first goal was absolutely world class from Palmer to create it, drifting inside and playing an instinctive ball beyond Livramento, which Neto latched onto to square for a tap-in for Jackson. Palmer came away with all 3 bonus points as well. Gordon wasn't named in a squad due to a groin issue that he's picked up. Isak got Newcastle's goal. Palmer really could have come away with more on another day. At one point he squared the ball to Mudryk well inside the box, but the shot was pretty poor straight at Pope. Nkunku won a penalty, but VAR reviewed it, and it wasn't enough contact by Burn to stick to the on-field decision. Spurs really struggled in Son's absence, losing 1-0 away at Palace. Huge 3 points for Palace. It was Moore who started in left wing in Son's absence after impressing midweek in Europa. Tottenham only mustered 0.72 expected goals. Not good reading for those of us as Spurs attackers, myself included. We learned that Son could have played this one, but it was left out as a precaution, so we can expect him to be back for Gameweek 11. Spurs are home to Villa, and then they're home to Ipswich, so you can make a solid case for waiting 2 weeks, and then you drop them before they're away to Man City. Mateta got Palace's goal, and Eze finally chipping in with an attacking return, getting the assist. Well done to anyone that still has Henderson. He made 3 saves and got a bonus point. Arsenal vs Liverpool ended a 4-goal thriller, 2-2 draw. After all that speculation and uncertainty on Saka, he of course made the squad and he started. In fact, he gets the first goal from a White assist who was filling in at centre-back in Saliba's absence. It was a brilliant cut inside from a few yards out to beat Robertson. He was wreaking havoc against Robertson, and Slot ultimately swapped Tsimikas on in the 63rd minute. Van Dijk equalised off a Diaz flicked header, and then Marino got his first Arsenal goal off a set piece assisted by Rice, and then it was followed by a Salah equaliser in the 81st minute assisted by Darwin. So Gabriel went off injured after a clash with Darwin. He tried to play on but he wasn't able to, so Kiwior replaced him. He went straight down the tunnel and was later spotted with ice on his knee on the bench. Let's see what Arteta has to say. It might be a knock more than anything. Well played if you held firm with Saka. He got 2 bonus points as well, 3 bonus for Salah. Trent had a poor game by his usual standards, though he did play a crucial pass to release Darwin, which led to the equaliser for Salah. Moving on to transfer plans then, here's what I'm lined up for Gameweek 10. It's Ryrie in goal, a back 4 of Lewis, Pedro Porro, Vardy and Gabriel, a midfield trio of Johnson, Palmer, Bumo, and then up front Wood, Haaland and Solanke. Wood is currently yellow flagged. He had some ice on his foot after he came off, but he did reassure us in his post-match interview that he was fine, so I expect the flag to disappear later. I've got Rodgers first on the bench. His party trick is scoring whenever I bench him, so congrats in advance to Rodgers owners. Perhaps there's a chance of some early Man City team news next game week, so if Lewis or Vardy will miss out, then I'll start him. This week there's no glaring moves, so the plan is to roll the transfer. Bigger picture, I've got a decision to make on Salah. My only route to Salah really is selling Haaland, and I expect that's going to be a big talking point in the coming weeks. If any of you have got Haaland and not Salah, are you planning to make the switch or are you keeping him? If I keep rolling to Gameweek 12, I'll have 3 free transfers, and I can do Johnson to Saka, Solanke to Cunha, and Vardy to a 4.3 mod defender like Anderson, which I really like. That lets me keep Wood for the Ipswich home game, and I can bench him against Arsenal, then sell him. I can get to the 3-man midfield as well. It'd have to be Haaland down to a 4.5 mil forward, Johnson to Salah, and Semenyo to Saka. That gives me Salah captain against Southampton. However, it does mean having Wood and Solanke against Arsenal Man City, which is pretty bad for that week. Plus going no Salah can work, given that Palmer's got Leicester in Gameweek 12 anyway, so basically it could be Palmer versus Salah that week. There's other ways I can fund Saka, such as Vardy to Colwill and Porro to a 4-mil defender, but that might be the weakest combination of the 3. So I'll keep the options open and roll the transfer. Hit that subscribe button if this was a helpful summary. Tomorrow we'll be discussing the best players to buy for Gameweek 10 and beyond. See you soon for the next one.